I have to preface this video for the YouTube community and the YouTube advisor who I had been speaking with and was able to get in contact with via email. So this video will be up to expose the sins of another YouTuber, Joshua Kobsar. I don't even respect him enough to use his YouTube name because that would be giving him too much credit, and it would be kind of very faggy to stroke another man's ego, which is something I'm not going to do. But throughout the course of this video, there's going to be about, say, 6 to 7 offenses that'll pop up in the corner. And you'll see them as titled as the biggest offenses, or at least offense 1, offense 2, offense 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the fuck, etc. It's there. But it's titled, each one has a name, and you'll understand. Now, things have been quiet for at least 5 to 6 months, okay? After the death of the Freedom Cult, after Stefan stepped down, Joshua had nowhere else to go or what to do but to come right back around and start dick riding other people's content and names just to give himself some attention. And who does he have to go back to? Ding, 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 ding. The very person who makes him feel relevant. The very person he projects all his problems onto. And it's kind of sad. I mean, for one, offense number 1 is he is a serial stalker. Now, what do you mean by serial stalking? And stalking, doesn't that only happen? No, stalking is not just a gender-based thing. Grown men and women can stalk people of the same sex or the opposite sex. And this guy right in here, I mean, Joshua stalks anybody and everybody and tries to get their information to use or to put out there, which will be a point later on. There'll be another offense that adds to this one because the stalking and the other offense go hand in hand. But what do I mean by that is he will stalk your very moves all the time. He will stalk your posts. He will stalk your uploads. He will stalk your old Facebook images, Instagram images, and try to touch them up and present them as being modern. They tried to present a picture of me in high school where I was a lot skinnier than what I am now, and he's trying to pose it off as I am some sort of hideous looking man. When you put me next to Joshua, that man should not talk about anyone's appearances, okay? When you look at him and you look at me, you can see who God blessed and you can see who God condemned. And clearly, if you're as big of a siscon as Mr. Kobsar here, of course God's going to condemn your looks because he doesn't like another person looking at their own flesh and blood with lust, which can send you to the second ring of hell. But I guess he doesn't care, and I keep forgetting that those deep mountain northerners, don't have much in society. Like they live in that old world society out up in the boonies where this is normal. And luckily for me, I live at least in a normal form of society where at least I know I'm like, wait a minute, my blood is my blood. That's my relative. That's not something you should really be looking at. That's a big no. And this is something that myself, multiple others, have had to tolerate from this moron for years. 4 years. And the sad part is, when you think it gets quiet, and when things are a little too quiet and things are peaceful, boom, 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 Pennywise decides to come back out from the fucking depths and say, who am I gonna stalk today? Am I gonna stalk Kiyoma? Am I gonna stalk Retro? Am I gonna stalk Quentin? No, I'm gonna go around and stalk the one person that always claps my cheeks virtually every time I open my mouth, and that is John. I don't know why he has to come my way, and I would like to, side note, personally thank uh the JRPG King for letting me know in advance that Inquisitor, like, I don't even want to respect to say his name because this video is going to the, like I said, the YouTube advisor and the person that I got in touch with to send it to. So, yeah, I have to use his actual name because they already know his YouTube name, so I don't want to overemphasize his YouTube name. Plus, his YouTube name, sadly, is even too cool for him and it's cringe, so I don't want to replace it. Use it. Offense number 3 is he is a habitual, and I mean habitual, liar. He can get caught in the act. You can screen cap any community posts, any tweet, or anything of the sort. You could do any one of those things, and he will still outright say, no, you're a liar. I didn't say that. I'm right. You're wrong. I've dealt and seen people like that before. And from what I understand, people who are like that, basically, they ran the house. He claims to be from a military family, but I doubt that. And even if it does, then maybe his family and his father was a weak military man, because no military man is going to let their child get to the size of fucking Shrek, even into adulthood. And I've even seen pictures of his father, and I guess that's probably why the northern militaries of the Maple Leaf are called last for actual fighting and duty, and that's why they send the tried and true USA soldiers to actually get the job done, instead of sending soldiers from his country, which are just used as the front lines for flak damage. That's really it. But one of the things that I just cannot stand is, like, no matter what, 1,000 people, hell, fuck it, not even 1,000, maybe 10 or 12 people can point out to him, dude, you are caught lying about this. Stop trying to move the goalposts or restructure, the whole situation to try to make himself look good. Because that is one of the biggest issues that would probably have you bang your head against the wall dealing with Joshua, is the level of mental retardation is insane. Now, offense number 4 is he is a serial T.O.S. abuser. And we're going to use a recent example. My buddy Kiyoma. I know it's a sensitive subject of ethical, whether it's ethical or not to use AI in your content. I would say if it's used correctly and only used to enhance what you're doing instead of overtaking what you're doing, then it's perfectly fine. But everyone knows that Kiyoma likes to make parody AI videos. And he doesn't put people's personal information in them. He doesn't put addresses. He doesn't do any of that. Now, Joshua tried to false flag Kiyoma's video, and luckily YouTube saw the bullshit for what it was and decided to ignore the request, because Kyo got the email saying that, oh, his video is fine, it's not going to be taken down. He says his video's within TOS. So of course, Big Boy tried to think he was going to false flag my co-host and not only one of my subscribers, but fails at it and will probably lie and say, no, you guys break TOS. Like, whatever he does, whatever actions that are bad on the platform he does, he will either blame it on somebody from my community, blame it on me, or blame it on his friends who he loses, and his own friends even turn away from him. He hasn't been the same after he got kicked out of his last group, and it just seems like this guy might need some group therapy, because without friends, without people to talk to, this is the kind of behavior we have to deal with constantly. Now, offense number 5 is that he is a false flagger. I know this falls under breaking TOS, but no. He is also a false flagger. There has been multiple accounts of my subscribers coming to me, people who have made videos on him, even community posts or anything like that, or X posts and the whole fucking 9 yards. You already know the whole 9 yards. He will attempt to take them down and constantly flag it over and over, but the result he doesn't get the result he wants because clearly the content is stood up. Lord knows how many times I've had to wait 6 or 7 days to find out if my video was fine or not. And guess what? My video, the claim gets released, it has to be let go. Sorry, Joshua, you know, you're not in the right for what you do, even though you think you are always in the right. That's one of the key things I think a lot of people, especially myself, despise about him is that no matter what he does, he feels he is in the right. He feels that every one of his actions, no matter how wrong they are justified as long as it is a means to attack myself, people who watch me, people who subscribe to me, or hell, people who have even been on my channels. He goes out his way, and he does things very, very tricky. Very, very, very tricky. I give him that. He does it in a way where the YouTube bots, the Google bot, the Twitter/X bots don't seem to be able to pick up on what he is doing. And that falls under another thing, which is one of the biggest sins that you could commit on the YouTube platform, which I hope this becomes one of his nails in the coffin because he's done it before but failed. And that is, he is a serial doxer. Joshua Kobsar is a serial doxer. And what does that mean? He will try to find several times. He has tried to find my address. He has tried to dox my co-host's parents. He has tried to dox people that have tried to be his friend. He has doxed the group home of a mentally disabled person called Levin Gill. What kind of man does that? What kind of pathetic individual does that? That's not normal behavior. That's not normal actions of however old he is. And if he's either and the thing is, it's funny, he's either my age or we're close in age, and the man looks like he's going into his 50s. I'm 32. I still look like I'm in high school. That just shows who takes care of themselves one way or another. At least I can get up out my house and go take a walk and walk multiple miles before I get exhausted. I'm not the kind of guy like Joshua that can only walk to the mailbox and back unless my mom offers me a Twinkie as a reward to go get the fucking mail. And then by the time he gets the mail and comes back, he's already choking on his own sweat and air. I mean, that's a lot. That's funny how someone like him has the nerves to say the things he says about me when he looks like God smited him with the ugly stick, choked around his mom's umbilical cords on the way out of the womb. But he's got the nerve to say things about me. Here's the thing. You ever heard the meme expectation versus reality? I am the expectation and I'm still the reality. He is just a pathological racist at offense number 7. Now, this is a hard one to get a hold of because it was in audio calls that I don't have access to, or a Discord that he was kicked out of where he would constantly talk about my community and other people behind their back, but he can never say it to their face. So, and that's the same thing with me. He can never do any of this. So what he does, he lies, he projects. He's basically a serial projectionist that he puts all of the things he dislikes about me or what he dislikes about himself, and he tries to put it onto me. And I've never seen another grown man do this that bad. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and realize, wow, I'm 500 plus, beefing with a guy who's 160, in good shape, looks better than I do, actually has parents that care, and actually has a family that doesn't want him out of their own house or just has to tolerate him. Yeah, the information I've learned about Joshua is that his own family tolerates him. It's almost like he's a squatter in his own house. I mean, he's the kind of guy that like mom's not always wrong. He can do no wrong. It's clear that he has a high sense of entitlement and that he was the last one to always get the last word in his house because he doesn't know when to shut what they call the fuck up. But that's all I gotta say for right now. I'm gonna have this uploaded for the YouTube moderator to see this, and hopefully something gets done. So maybe the clock will be ticking for Joshua Kobsar to finally lose his channel. He can go back to Rumble and stay there or on Twitch, but he doesn't deserve to have a YouTube channel or to be on this platform with the rest of everybody who are trying to do right by themselves. Take care, everyone.